Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. We're going to get started here in just a second. Got so much to share with you today. Gonna check the Facebook live feed and make sure we're good to go, and then we will be ready to launch this off. Should get some verification here in a second. Let me know where you're coming in from or where you're viewing from today. Really look forward to hosting you today. Get you all set up on booj. Okay, looks like we have clarification and confirmation that we are live on Facebook as well. Let me make this screen a little bigger so you don't have to see my desktop. Okay, well, let's see where everyone's coming from. Old Orchard Beach in Maine. I bet it's beautiful there. I don't know if you got a lot of snow like we did here in the Midwest, but welcome, welcome. Hi, Kristen from RE/MAX Southern Shores. Welcome to our Quick Start Extended booj Edition. I am thrilled to be your host today. This is going to be a little bit longer version than we normally do for Quick Start. So grab a snack, grab something to drink. I've got my water right here. But welcome, my name is Michelle Hoyt. I am Manager of Education and Development for RE/MAX INTEGRA. And we do these quick start webinars a couple of times a month. The first version being a focus on all the RE/MAX tech and tools. This one is dedicated specifically to the booj platform. So booj stands for Be Original or Jealous. It's a tech company that RE/MAX acquired a few years ago, and they have completely built just for us a CRM and a website for all of you to use. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump right into this. And we are going to have a really good time today. So we are going to focus today on all things booj. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure by the end of this session that you are set up, that you have some good tips and tricks and some really good things to follow. This session is being recorded. It will be shared with you after this session. So if you're trying to watch and kind of follow along on two different computers, I don't want you to feel like that's a big challenge for you. But we're going to walk through everything from that perspective. I'm going to, first of all, ask you to grab your mobile device. So we're actually going to start on the mobile forum. And let's go ahead and do that because I want to help you get started. You're always, always, always on the go. And one of the things you're going to need to do is to get your booj leads and get your remax.com leads and access your platform from your mobile device. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my mobile device. And we're going to start with the booj CRM mobile app. And I will project my phone onto the screen here in just a second, and you'll see what we're going to be doing. All right. What you're going to do is if you have an iPhone, you're going to go to the App Store. And if you have an Android, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. Okay. So Google Play Store or App Store. And you're going to be looking for the booj CRM app. And here's what it looks like. There's actually going to be, it's navy blue and it has a white teardrop, so to speak, on there. And again, the purpose of this is so that you can access your leads and get information on the go. What we're going to do is we're going to start right here. So again, it's booj CRM mobile app. Please find that in the Google Play Store, App Store, and download that. And by the way, please take note of the chat box and the Q&A box. I'm also watching some of the, hello everyone viewing on Facebook. I see Bonnie, Roger, Dave, Kathy. Hello everyone. And we're going to be, this is being recorded. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be logging into the booj CRM mobile app with your Max Center credentials. Okay, some of you are probably thinking, uh-oh, that's saved on my Chrome. I have no idea what that is. So you're going to have to go find that. If you can't do it during this session, you can follow along and do this later on. But the booj CRM mobile app, when you first open this up, again, using your Max Center credentials, you are going to see what is called the inbox. The inbox is the communications dashboard for all of your contact activity. Now I have a demo account, so there's not a lot going on here, but some of you may have opened up the booj CRM mobile app and you might see some things going on here. Properties being favorited, or it says new favorite property event, or maybe it's a question or something that one of your clients is asking you. But the main thing is we want you to be able to access your clients and their contact information on the go and to be able to see some lead activity. When you get a lead texted to you from booj or from remax.com and you click on it, it will default and send you to this app so that you can see a little bit more information about it. So this is the main purpose why we're doing this. But I want you to take note of this inbox. One of the things you'll be able to do with your clients out of this platform is you can actually email them, text them, or call them. When they respond to you, and you've done this through the app, those communications will show up here in this section. Now, in each individual contact record, I'm going to show you how to see what it is that they did. Now, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to go into where it says contacts. You may or may not have contacts in there. I have several from all the trainings. I'm just going to type in a name. And I'm going to type in a first name and just find someone that I can show this to you with. There we go. I did submit a lead form about an hour or so ago and have been training on that. What you're going to see is the client record. So let's say you got the lead, you're in the client record in the booj CRM mobile app, because a lot of times you're going to be on the go. What you're able to see is whatever information they've provided. As you can see, it's details. This is phone number, this is everything else. You also will be able to contact them directly from the mobile app. As you can see in the bottom here, you can call, text, or email them straight from here. Now, why would you do this instead of using your phone? Well, the benefit is the system's going to automatically log these interactions with you as you're doing them, okay? And it's going to avoid a lot less manual entry. It's going to keep you organized, keep you on track, and those details really make a difference down the road when challenges come up and clients have questions and they want to ask you, and you can refer back to those notes and those interactions. It's going to help you so much. Think about all the texts that you've sent over the years where you wish you could put those in a CRM. This is going to be a great way to do that. Now, if the client responds to you, if you texted them through the booj platform, and by the way, you can text and email from the desktop. Up here at the top, you see these tabs. It kind of looks like a little website. Move this over, and you're going to see the communications icon right here. The communications, so these are forms or activities or lead events that have occurred on this particular contact. Now, as you can see, there's a new account registration form. All that's telling me is that this client registered for an account on my website or on remax.com, either one. They did not ask for a showing or information on a particular property. If they did, it would show up here as that form. But at least I can see communication. When you get that lead, it's important to look at this to see what did they ask. Obviously, you want to be on the same page and pay attention to those details. Now, you can edit your contact record. There's going to be some limitations initially when you get that information. Maybe there's not a phone number. When you finally get it, you can actually hit the little pencil and add more details about this client. So this is really good that you can do this on the go. Now, the main thing I want to show you in this booj CRM mobile app, before we do anything, let's save this, or this is now an app on your phone, but we want to make sure that your password stays filled in. Now, I have an iPhone, so I'm going to apologize to those of you that have Androids in advance, but I want to show you a little tech tip, and then we're going to come back to this app. On your settings on an Apple device, so these will be your main settings, you can actually have it save all your passwords. And it's all tied to your Safari, which is your browser on your Apple device. So we're going to click settings. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to scroll down. Once you get inside of settings, I'm going to move this down and we're going to look at where it says passwords. It looks like it's a key, a white key with sort of a gray background. We're going to click that. And now it's going to take us to this section. You want to click autofill passwords. Then what you want to do is you see where it says keychain. So toggle this over and then make sure the check mark is on keychain, because again, this is the native browser and the keychain is part of that for Apple devices. So this means moving forward, when you add passwords, Safari or the phone is going to remember them and help you autofill those, which is awesome. So you don't have to worry about redoing it over and over again. Now you can also use the Chrome app. Now on Google device or Android devices, you might have to make a note to look up if you don't know how to autofill passwords on your phone. Please look that up on YouTube or just Google it. Unfortunately, I don't have access to one, so I apologize. That's my tech tip for the day. Let's go back to the booj CRM mobile app. All right, so on the booj CRM mobile app, there's a really key piece that you're absolutely going to love, and it's a lead generation tool, and it's also a great client tool. And that's the ability to share your personally branded mobile app. What you do is you go here to the top left corner, and in the top left corner, you're going to click the menu. So it looks like a hamburger menu, right? Now you're going to see a ton of things going on here. Notifications are to-dos. This could be things I need to do on client records or whatever it is I've set up in my account. Offered leads. If you open this up and you see a number here besides a 0, then you have a lead sitting there you need to accept. So do that right away. Forget us, just go ahead and accept that lead and focus on that for a minute. But here's what I want to have you do is I want to have you look at the branded mobile app. See how there's a link right here where it says copy. What you want to do is you want to click copy, because what you're going to do is you're going to share your personally branded version of the RE/MAX mobile app. Now what I can do is I can text this. So hit the texting icon and take a look at this. This is so cool. What it does is it actually creates and generates a unique mobile URL link just for you to share your very own version of the RE/MAX search app. See how it says and when you do this, you'll see your name. So if your name is John Smith, it'll say, begin your home search by downloading John Smith's branded RE/MAX app. Here it is. This link, like I said, is unique to you and only you. You should copy this, store this on your notes on your phone, and you'll be able to text that to anyone. Here's what happens on the other end. When you text this to someone, when they click on it, it will prompt them to download the RE/MAX consumer-facing search app. And when they open it, it will be already branded to you. So that is very, very cool. Let me show you what that looks like now on the other side. So the app itself, the RE/MAX app, it is, if you don't have this on your phone already, hopefully you do, but if you're new to RE/MAX, you may not. It is white with a red, white, and blue balloon. This is a consumer-facing app. The booj CRM mobile app is agent-facing only. It's only for you. But this is what it looks like in the top left corner here. So I'm going to click right there where it says RE/MAX. And I've already gone through as a consumer, I've accepted the terms and I've set this up. When they open up the app after they download it, when you text them your own link, is up here, it's going to already have your information on it. So in the menu, just to show you what it looks like, this is an agent branded version of a RE/MAX search app. It's already got my agent on here. In fact, there's no way to really look for other agents right here because there's no agent search directory. Now there is one, if it's not branded to an agent, they can search for the agent, they can choose to work with them, and then it shows up like this. But here's what else can happen. So as a consumer, I've created an account, I've got my assigned agent, my preferred buyer's agent, and I'm going to click where it says, favorite properties. Did I favorite any? Did I save any searches? This is showing anything that I've favorited or any saved searches there. I've got 3 of them showing there. I can edit those at any time. Those are all things that I can either do here on the mobile app or on the desktop as a consumer. So when I open this up though, when I click info, so first of all, see how I can call my agent right away. When I click on info, it's going to pull up the Max Center profile of my agent. It's going to have their active listings, about this agent, and of course at the bottom, I can either call or email them immediately. Here's the best part about using a branded version of the mobile app for a particular agent. When I favorite those properties, when I save those searches, all those notifications go directly to that agent and only that agent. So it's basically automatically making you the preferred buyer's agent in the entire RE/MAX.com system. So how cool is that? Let me know if there's any questions. I'm just going to keep going through. There's a lot to talk about as we get into this. But by the way, one more thing. You can have your clients using your version of the RE/MAX app. They can actually be your advertiser to send referrals. Once they're inside of the mobile app, see this button that says share? So as a consumer, if I really love my agent and my agent did a great job, I want to refer them to some of my colleagues, I can click share. Now you'll have to coach them through this, of course, and I can go ahead and message this by saying, hey, you need to download this app because my agent's amazing. Everything I do in here, we're on the same page. They make everything so easy for me. And that's going to be a great thing for you for advertising. Okay. So that's the Remax search app. One last thing on mobile, and then we're going to jump into the desktop version of this. Okay. So let's talk about Max Center. Max Center is your gateway into all the Remax tools. It's also the gateway into the desktop and more robust version of the booj CRM. The booj CRM mobile app will have its limitations. It is an app. It's for basic contact information, for you able to look them up, to communicate with them is the primary purpose for it at this time. To get into the details of the system, to get into listing manager, to get into campaigns and other things, you need to be able to access full Max Center. Now, there is not a full app for Max Center at this time. There is one that's coming called Max Center Go for news feeds, etc. But the Max Center platform itself must be saved as a mobile shortcut on your mobile device in order to use it the way you would on desktop. Now, how do you do that? On an iPhone, what you're going to need to do is you need to go to your native browser, which is Safari. And on an Android, you're going to go to Chrome. And you're going to type in remax.net, just like you would on desktop to get to Max Center. Remax.net. Remax.net will load for you. I think I have it open many times over. Here we go. I'm already logged in. Let me go ahead and log out and I'll show you. This is where the password saving really comes into play, like we looked at in the beginning. All right, so you should see a screen like this. So Remax.net, you're on Safari and you're on your Apple device. Android, you're on Chrome. You want to go ahead and log in with your credentials. Now, because I have autofill password, all you have to do is click that first box. Now it's going to ask, do I want to use my login that's already saved? I click that button at the bottom. It uses my Face ID. And there we go. So it's logging me into Max Center right away. On Android, again, you may want to look up how to autofill those passwords. I am in my Max Center just like it would be on desktop. Now, of course, it looks a lot different because it's mobile responsive and it's basically adjusted for the mobile screen. What I have going on here is, first of all, look, I can get to Design Center. I can get to just about everything I want on Max Center from my mobile device. But you need to shortcut this and save this. And how you do that on an Apple device is down here at the bottom, this toolbar, there is a square with an arrow pointing upward. You're going to click that. And now it's going to give you this menu. What you do is you move this screen up and you click the button that says add to home screen. So add to home screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click add. It's going to drop this at the end of my apps. Obviously, I've done this a lot. So it looks like an app, but it really is a mobile shortcut that you can get to anytime. So it's pretty amazing. For those of you on Android, on Chrome, when you're logged into remax.net, there's 3 little dots in the top right corner of your browser. Click that, it'll give you a drop-down menu, and one of the options is to add to home screen. And that's what you can do with Max Center on your Android, okay? All right, good stuff, right? Any other questions on mobile? If not, I'm gonna move on, and I'm hoping that you're as excited about all that as I am. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, let's do this. We are now in Max Center, the desktop version, and we've talked about a lot of different things. Let's get into the CRM, and then when we get into the CRM, I want to do a quick review of how remax.com lead routing works, okay? Inside of Max Center, now, first of all, if you don't have the booj app favorited, it's a good idea to do that right now. So again, remax.net, hopefully you're not brand new and you haven't gotten your remax.net email and welcome email to get into the system. If you are still waiting on it or never received it, if you are in the company-owned region, please reach out to product support at remax.com. If you are with Remax INTEGRA, support at remaxintegra.com. That's our region, which is Midwest New England. Okay, in the home screen of Max Center, if you don't see the booj app, then you simply click on where it says apps. Now it automatically defaults to my favorites. It might do that to you too, but if you click where it says all, this is where you can see all of the applications. We're gonna click on booj. Now I do have it favorited, so there's a little flag that you can color in there, right? And that could be your favorite. We're gonna get into the system. I'm actually already in it, so let's see, I'll close this out. I might have to refresh. There we go. Okay, so now I'm in the system. Before we get into the contacts and leads themselves, like I said, let's talk about how booj lead routing actually works. And I'm going to make this a quick little overview so we can get right back into the heart of the program here. And let's make this a little bigger for you so you can see it. When leads come in to remax.com, let's talk about how the lead routing works and sort of the hierarchy involved with that. So remax.com is at the top of the food chain when it comes to Remax websites. Remax.com leads come in at the very top. Here's the different lead scenarios. The system, meaning Remax.com, booj, it's hosted by booj, will look at first, does this client have a preferred buyer's agent? If they do, it'll go right over here. All their lead activity questions, everything's going to go directly to that preferred buyer's agent. So they've either chosen them on desktop, they're using their mobile search app or whatever it is that they're using, it's the preferred buyer's agent. If this client, and what they do is they associate the email address, the name, of course. If there is no preferred buyer's agent, and this is a Remax listing, and by the way, preferred buyer's agents get everything. Doesn't matter whose listing it is, whether it's Remax or not. Remax.com will look to see if it's a listing lead or a Remax listing that goes directly to the listing agent. So that's this next course. Now you have 1 hour of exclusivity to accept those leads. So be careful and be quick about getting those because the consumer must be acknowledged. An hour is a lifetime in the internet world. Think about if you have to wait an hour when you submit lead inquiries. It's very frustrating. So let's be different in the industry and let's get right back to them. So remember, 1 hour is going to be the exclusivity on even on your own listing leads. Now, if this is a lead on a non-Remax listing, okay, this is one of your competitors' listings, because remember, it's full IDX. They can search any active listing on remax.com in your area. Non-Remax listing lead comes in. What the system will do is going to look for agents that have signed up for leads in that particular zip code, which we will cover shortly. And it's going to go to the agent that's gone the longest without receiving a lead. It's called round robin. I have a couple more slides to illustrate that. Again, that's a non-Remax listing. You also have 1 hour of exclusivity. And then if you miss it, it gets reoffered every 15 minutes, just like if it was your own listing lead. One other thing that can happen, as you may have seen, or I will show you the lead form that I submitted right before this, it was a general account registration. All I did was I created an account on Remax. I created an account with a password and I'm logged in. But that's all I did. I didn't ask for a listing information. I didn't ask for a showing and I didn't ask any particular questions. I just signed up and created an account. When those come in, it will obviously know where that person's located. So it will assign accordingly, again, for those of you that have signed up for those zip codes. There are lead routing rules and there are particular business hours that take place between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. in your local time zone. So what Remax has done is they've established these as business acceptance hours. So all of these rules apply, the 1 hour exclusivity, the reoffering every 15 minutes. If you get a lead outside of those hours, so basically if a lead comes in at 10:30 at night, you have until the clock strikes 8 a.m. the next morning to get that. Now, hopefully it doesn't take that long, but you have the exclusivity period is extended, of course, because it's overnight. Here's my best advice to you. Always accept leads in 15 minutes or less. I would do it in 10 minutes or less because you don't know if it's a reoffer. It'll just say a lead's been offered to you. If it's a listing lead, whatever it is, just make it your goal to always accept those in 10 minutes or less, or 5 minutes or less, to be honest. Okay. All right. I'm just kind of watching again. If you have questions, please type them in the Q&A box or the chat box. And I see, thank you for those of you hanging with me on Facebook. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's kind of go through this a little bit. And let's get into some of the other slides right here. Okay, so as I mentioned, we talked about the lead routing. Again, the listing agent has 1 hour. It gets reoffered every 15 minutes to agents that have signed up for that zip code. And how this works, it's a round robin process. Those that have gone the longest without getting leads will definitely be part of that initial offering. But remember, just urgency is the key. In order to be eligible for leads on remax.com, you must have at least one zip code filled out. I'm going to show you where to do that. You also can't miss 3 leads in a row. If you miss 3 leads in a row, you can become ineligible. And then the brokerage, you have to put in a support ticket to get re-enabled. The system thinks you're not interested in leads. So be careful, don't miss any leads, again, is my best advice to you. And how lead acceptance works, those will come to you. You'll see them come through the app and notifications, but the push notifications aren't enabled as of yet, but the email and the text versions will come through. And when you're on desktop, you'll also be able to see notifications coming in. And then these are the different lead sources. So you'll be, when leads start coming in, they're not always necessarily from remax.com. These could actually be coming from the office website, the booj office website for the brokerage that you're part of. This could be your own agent website. This could be a team website if you're part of a team. Or if you're multi-office. So again, if you're in a brokerage that has multiple locations, there's leads coming from all these different places. You can also get leads and set up and connect what are called lead parsers, realtor.com, HomeSpotter, Zillow. Those are the ones that are connected and synced up with booj, okay? All right, again, I just wanted to review that with you. Hopefully that was clear. It's very important to always review and understand how the lead routing works behind the scenes with remax.com. Okay, let's get into some of the initial settings on the CRM. Up here in the top right corner, your picture should be located here. It's a little circle, and you want to click on that, and then you've got settings. Okay, settings, and then settings pages. Now we're going to go, and by the way, you'll be able to watch this recording back. I'm going at a rapid pace, I realize that. Settings pages, and then we're going to click on where it says contacts and leads. We're going to immediately go into one of the most important areas, and that's where it says offered leads, because we're going to set up zip codes. If you haven't done this, now some of you, if you are seeing a setup wizard when you first logged into booj, because this is your first time logging in, please power through and hit continue on every one of those screens, and it should take you to your dashboard, and you should be able to jump in right where we are. Again, we are in the settings section up here in the top, settings pages, contacts and leads. And then we are in offered leads, and you'll be setting those up. Okay, let's see. Jamie just asked a question that was actually very good. Is there a way to see the rotation of the leads? Also, how can you tell if you need to be reinstated in the program? You would get it, your brokerage gets a notification that they're still working on that a little bit right now, but the brokerage gets the notification that you've missed the lead, and then they would help re-enable you. So again, you'll know because you will have missed a lead. And by missing a lead, it's where you basically get an hour of exclusivity and you just completely ignore it. You don't decline, if you accept a lead or if you decline a lead, I mean, there's lead activity going on, but if you just completely ignore 3 leads in a row, especially if they're listing leads, then it's gonna deem you as not eligible, is what could potentially happen. So hopefully that helps you. The brokerage does get notified though, and they'll be able to help you with that. If you find that you're not getting leads for whatever reason, or if you want to know, you can also email the product support at remax.com to ensure, to make sure that you are set up for leads, or make sure everything's okay too. So hopefully that happens, or that helps, Jamie. Thank you. Okay, so we are in the offered leads section, and thanks for the questions. Please keep them coming. The offered leads is zip codes. You can choose 10 zip codes. Please do not repeat your zip codes. It will not make a difference. You're going to end up using up a valuable zip code that you could have potentially had. Now, some of you might be in smaller rural areas where you don't necessarily have 10 zip codes, or if you do 10 zip codes, you're going to be driving 3 hours. And you know what? Here's what you can do about that. Make this a year to cast a wider net to get more leads. Even if you're not the one actually driving 3 hours to go get it, just remember there's RE/MAX offices everywhere in your state, in your area, in your region. You can always get a referral opportunity out of it. So please fill in some extra zip codes, even if they're a little further out. And you never know what could happen. Maybe you get $1 million lead. But ultimately fill those in. Use up every one of those 10 zip codes is really what I recommend. This middle section here, be careful. It's kind of a trick question, because what it's saying is, if you check a box here, you're telling the system, I do not want to receive leads from these areas. So if you click buyer seller because you're excited and you want buyer seller leads, you're actually telling the system you don't want those leads. So be very, very careful with that. Unless you're completely opposed to a certain price range or rentals or whatever, you really should just leave this whole section blank. Make sure your cell phone number is filled in here. This is very, very important so you can get leads texted to you from the system. So fill in that number. Once you fill it in, it's fine. It's there. There's no save button if you're looking for it. Now let's move on to the notifications. This is a very, very important section also. What this is going to do is going to enable you to be able to get notified of all the lead activities and things going on in your account in various ways. Now the in-app push notifications are still in the process of being worked on, but you will get email notifications, you'll get text messages, and where it says web, it's grayed out because what that means is up here in the top right corner, you may not be able to see it because my picture's there, but in the top right corner of the screen, if you're looking on your own, there's a bell that has a red number. You know, these are notifications that occur on the desktop. So those will always happen. You'll always be able to see that, okay? So as you walk through and look at a couple of these, we're gonna look at this, but you have the ability to transfer or share any contact record in your booj CRM with any other RE/MAX agent in the entire US. And that's for referrals. And that's what's really great about it. So we'll definitely take a look at that towards the end. And then, so if someone refers a lead to you or a contact record to you or shares it with you, you're setting yourself up to be notified. It's very important. So then you know what's happening. If someone, and they can update the preferred buyer's agent choice. They have a choice. It's the consumer choice. You'll get notified. It'll say that they updated their preferred buyer's agent. So what that means is you're no longer their chosen one and they pick somebody else. That was a good opportunity for you to pick up the phone and call them. Do not call attention to this notification, but to merely ask, how are things going? So be very careful with this. There's a lot of intelligence at your fingertips here, but we also want you to use it wisely. The contact or deleted their account. When someone signs up and creates an account on RE/MAX.com, they have every opportunity to go in and cancel or delete that entire account. You will be notified that they've done so, but that will not remove them from your CRM. Again, this is another opportunity to reach out to them to find out what's going on in their life, and hopefully they didn't buy a home already with someone else, or maybe they just aren't getting what they're looking for there, and you can be of greater assistance to them personally. If you're going to import and export contacts, you can get notified of that too. All right, we'll move on from that. The other part I want to show you that's really important here is tags. Tags are categories or labels that you can assign to your contacts, all right? So you can assign to your contacts those particular labels. Now the system's already assigned, as you can see in gray right here, okay? Those are already assigned by the system, very common ones, buyer, seller. These are my ABC clients if you want to use a rating scale, first-time buyers. Those can't be changed, there's no edit button here, and those are in the gray color. You can add a lot of your own labels. For instance, if you have, like I've done here, book club, if you have golf outings, charity events, maybe this is your Chamber of Commerce group, maybe it's your business networking group. Here's what you do to add them. Now, the reason you want to add these is so you can keep your database nicely organized and message and target the right people at the right time with the right messaging. Let's go ahead and type in something. So let's say this is my business networking group. You can make up your own. And we're going to assign it a color. It's going to be, we'll just make it amethyst. Okay, so now that is located here. This tag or this category is now available every time I add a new contact to my booj CRM. I can assign this to whoever I'm entering into the system. Okay, so you see how that works. So spend some time in here. Your database has to make sense to you and only you. No one else is looking at it, but to keep you organized so that you can give the best possible service and best communicator with your clients. Really spend some time working on these categories, getting it organized, labeling things the way that makes sense to you, okay? All right, let's look at, as far as the rest of those go, custom fields. This is another thing I want to encourage you to do. Again, this has to make sense to you. What do you like to know about your clients? For instance, you know, the typical things, address, email, phone number, and I'll show you in just a minute inside of a contact record what all the details are behind it. But There's other things you might want to know. What do you really like to know about your people? These are just some examples here. I've got kids' names. What are the hobbies of your clients? If they have pets, include their names, especially if they don't have kids. Pets are their kids. Pets' birthdays. So there's a lot of different options here that you can do. And as you can see, there's different ways to input data in these custom fields. You can choose up to 12 of these different labels. And maybe you put in their favorite restaurant. Hey, this would be awesome to send them a gift certificate for their favorite restaurant or their favorite pizza place. You want to keep it affordable, of course, but pizza place, that their favorite local restaurant, favorite type of coffee, Starbucks or Caribou or whatever. Then you want to put that in there. So these are key things that can really get you referrals down the road, because when their anniversary comes up for their property or their birthday, you could send them a little $5 gift card to one of their favorite places. But really use this to its fullest advantage. So you can add your own. So to add a custom field, you just simply go in here, you type, let's do that. Let's do what's their favorite restaurant. And in this case, it's a text input. So that basically means you can type anything you want in here. We're going to go add field. And then, there's another place to do wedding anniversaries and birthdays, by the way. But as you can see, some of these have date pickers where you actually get to choose a calendar and a drop down, and then timing. Like in this case, it's when are they ready to make a move or to list? 0 to 30 days, 60 to 90. I want you to really pay attention to those, okay? All right. Let's jump back over to the contacts and leads themselves. Okay, contacts and leads. Once again, let me refresh this. There we go. Okay, inside of contacts and leads, there, actually, let me clear out my filters. I was playing with this earlier. So I actually have quite a few contacts in here. Now, this is a training account, a demo account. So if you're looking at this thinking, wow, this account has 2,600 Remax leads, that's not true. This is what this involves is importing contacts and getting everyone that you know in the exact same place to make it so much easier for you. Again, put them all into your client relationship management system here in booj, so that you can communicate the best way possible, and you're not logging into several different systems or looking at all these different spreadsheets to see that information. That's the primary objective, whether you're new to the business or not. Okay, in this case, here's what you want to do. There's actually 2 or 3 ways to get contacts into the system. We're first going to explore the very simple one of adding an individual one at a time. Over here in contacts, you click on add or import and add individual. Now I've actually synced, and I'll show you how this works in a minute, my Gmail contacts with my database. So when I manually add someone here in booj, it's going to ask me, do I want to sync it with Google, meaning do I want it to be on my Gmail side or not? And that's up to me. And you can also do Outlook. I'm not going to do that. But for example, you're going to see very simply, you can add 1 contact at a time. Now, this is a really good thing for an office administrator. If you're an office administrator watching this and someone calls into the front desk on one of your agent's listings, you can immediately create a new contact. And then I'll show you in a minute, you can actually assign or transfer that contact to the right listing agent from your office account. You can also, again, these are open house leads. This is someone you just met at Starbucks or wherever you met them, 1 at a time, one-off ads. This is perfect for that. We get a lot of questions about what's a contact and what's a lead. The way it's technically working, or the way it's designed for in booj, is a lead is a lead. When a lead comes in, it's the very first time it's come into your database. You don't know much about them. You're not necessarily working with them. They're basically a stranger to you. That's going to be your online leads, your Remax leads, your booj leads. Those are going to come in as leads. When you start actively working with them, or they close, they end up becoming clients or past clients, then technically they should be switched over to contact. Is that going to affect anything in your database if you don't switch back and forth? Not necessarily. That's merely for your own organizational tracking, if you would. Okay, so 1 at a time, that's how that works. The next thing you can do is you can import a list. Now, if you are coming from another brand, as some of you are brand new to Remax, and you were previously using a popular industry CRM like one of these on this list, Top Producer, Realty Juggler, or if you want to continue to use those, you can actually sync it up with your booj account. What you do is it will ask you to log into one of your your programs here if you're using these, and it will help you import all of your contacts from that platform into the booj system, okay? It will walk you through the steps and you'll be good to go. The other thing you can do is you can manually import a CSV file, which is the same as Excel, but it's called comma separated value file.csv. And let's say that you are exporting contacts from the MLS. A lot of you may have contacts there you forgot about. Maybe it's from your Comcast email or your Yahoo. Or by the way, those of you that have iPhones, there are ways to get, you can find it on YouTube and all of that. I have instructions if you want, reach out to me on how to get your iPhone contacts off your phone into a CSV file and into the booj system. So there are ways to do that as well. Android, it's easy for you because it's Gmail contacts. I'll show you how to get that synced up. But any CSV file, when you click to upload it, it's going to walk you through the process. Let's see if I can find a very simple CSV file. And I believe this one right here might be good. Okay, it has to be a CSV file. And I'm going to show you, it really is very intuitive. So it will pick up the column headers and whatever CSV file you're importing and ask you to confirm that you want to bring that in. This is a very simple form that I have. All it has is first, last name, and email. But it's checked off here where I'm confirming that this is what I want to do. Now it's defining it by today's date. So it's going to be tagged automatically with the date created will be today, February 17, 2021. I can also add additional tags to this. So maybe this is my golf outing. I hope we get to have golf outings again. Or maybe this was, some type of an event, or this is my list that I dropped pies off at the holidays. You can add that tag to mass assign to this import that you're about to do if it applies, or you can make up a new one here, just type it and hit enter. This could be, what you're going to do is you're going to click import, and it's going to confirm once again, what are you bringing in, how many, so this is showing me I've got 838 rows or 838 contacts I'd be adding to this program. I'm not going to do that right now, but it will then confirm when it's actually imported, and you'll see the numbers change on your total. I'm going to hit cancel. Looks like we had a question come in. Let's see. Can booj be used as a CRM, and how do we add multiple contacts and MLS? So Gary, hopefully I just answered that for you. Booj is a CRM. It is a client relationship management system, Gary. So I don't know if you joined us late or might have missed that initially, but I cannot repeat enough that it is definitely a full-blown full contact management system. So if you are paying for anything outside of the booj system or the RE/MAX system, you might want to reevaluate that. And because this is already included in your toolbox, and you could potentially take some of that money you're spending outside and reallocate it to something else, or not spend it at all. But I'd like you to know that this is a full client relationship management system and all of that. Now, if you're asking about syncing your MLS to this, now you can add your MLS to your Max Center profile, and that's something we can jump over and take a quick look at if that helps, but I think that's a really good question. So let me just quickly address that in Max Center. So the question on the table is, how do I connect my MLS, or what I do with my MLS? Now you do need to have your MLS affiliation set up in Max Center in order for your listings to be associated with you. So we'll take a little side trip right now. In Max Center, up here in the top right corner is your profile. You click Update Profile, and you will have a view very similar to this. Now, some of you might be team leaders and have a little bit extra view here. But in this case, you've got all your information. So please fill out this profile and be very, very complete about it, because this feeds into the referral directory. This feeds remax.com. I mean, these are lead generating fields that you should definitely fill out. You should have your website link. And when we get to the website part of this, we'll be able to explore that. But this MLS affiliation, please click here and make sure that your MLS feed is live. It should say status MLS live. If it is not, you can go in here and add it manually yourself by either, if you have an active listing, by looking up your listing ID, or you can enter your individual board ID number as an agent, as an individual agent. If you need help with that, again, always please reach out to support@remaxintegra.com if you're part of Midwest New England. If you're not, product support@remax.com, and they'll be happy to assist you with all of that. So hopefully that gives you a good idea, Gary, on what to do. So you're not technically connecting it to booj, but you're connecting it to the remax.com ecosystem, which will get your listings associated with you. All right, so back to the regularly scheduled program here. We've got the importing, hopefully was self-explanatory, or hopefully I explained that good enough that you can see you can do a lot with those contacts. The other way to get contacts, I'm going to go, you click on contacts and leads to get back. And the other way you can do is you can actually do a sync contacts. Now I've already done it, but here's another place you can get to it because mine won't go to the same place as yours. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to settings pages, and then we're going to go to system. Settings, pages, and system. And if you're a broker owner or manager, you need to be in your agent view, by the way, to do this. You have to toggle between your different roles, or team leader. As you can see, this is the page where you can do all your integrations. These are lead forwarding options. If you get leads or generate leads from any of these platforms, and again, whether you're paying or not, someone can actually click on your profile on one of these platforms and just say, I want to contact this agent. That's a lead. So what you can do is you can actually bring those leads into the booj CRM, and they'll be automatically there, and you don't have to manually import them or type them in. You can connect your bombbomb account. I have done that. What that means is this is a paid subscription. If you're not familiar with it, it's video, email, sends, and it's really can be its own robust contact management system too. It is a paid subscription. There's preferred pricing at Remax, and it's optional. But if you do, it will connect your entire video library with your booj account. And if you email clients out of here, you can send those video emails. The transaction management portion of it is gets a little more advanced, but actually this is very exciting because for the first time, Remax has deal management inside of our provided tools. And in this case, it's like the ability to set up a deal pipeline to track your pending transactions on both the buy and list side. You can actually connect one of these paperless platforms to your booj account in order to do that. I've got my DocuSign account set up here. .loop or zip forms are your other two options. What this essentially is going to do is it's going to eliminate a little extra work from manual client information. You'll be able to create the deal here, sync it with the .loop or zip forms, and it's going to pull that data over. They're working on a two-way sync right now. It's just a one-way. Now down here, I've already got Gmail connected. So what this means, it's a two-way sync, as you already saw. When I go to add a new contact on booj, it's going to ask me about if I want this to sync over to Gmail as well, or maybe I don't. But this is a two-way sync for either Outlook or Gmail contacts. You cannot do both, but you want to choose one or the other. And this certainly will make your life a lot easier. And also, again, get contacts all in one place. iPhone, you're going to have to get those contacts manually off your phone. You can do it through iCloud and other means and get those onto a spreadsheet and get them in. All right, any questions? Let me see. All right, I think we're in good shape. Okay, all right, let's keep moving along because we got a lot to talk about. And let's simply, we're done with contacts and leads, or let me know if you have any other questions about that. Well, we're gonna move on. And we're gonna talk about, now that you've got your contacts somewhat organized, first of all, again, you can go back to contacts and leads, and you can sort by all these different criteria. If you want to see who's having a birthday this month, you can sort by that. I'm going to reset this. And we're going to click right here, manage filters. How do you want to search your database? Maybe you can search by, hey, there's that, remember that custom field we just added, favorite restaurant. If you want to search by created date, or if you want to see the source, excuse me, the lead source, or the state that they're located, or zip code. Maybe you have some specific things you want to send to a certain area. Now, one thing I do want to give you a tip on, if you just get a new lead and then you get it on your phone, but then you jump into this platform to look for information on that new lead, let's talk about this really quick. You won't see the most recent lead at the very top of your database. The reason is because it's alphabetical. What you do is you simply go over here where it says create a date, and you use these arrows to toggle to get the most recent lead at the top. And that was this one right here. This one came in, it was from my agent website. And I'm going to click on this and we're going to go right into it. look at all this information on the contact record. So again, I just got this lead. It's very, very important that you go directly to the inbox. Now, most likely there's going to be a red number showing here. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, which means those are new lead events. This is someone that either favorited properties or they did something else, but here's the inbox. And this person actually created a new account. They did not ask any questions. They did not ask for a particular information on a particular listing or showing. They just registered for a new account. As you can see, this is the information that I've got. It's very basic. It's assuming this person's a buyer. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're a seller, but that's for me to find out and for me to qualify them. But in this case, I can reply right away from here. It'll automatically fill in this person's information. It fills out my auto signature and I can type in whatever questions that I want to try to connect with them. We're not going to have time to get into this, but you can set up pre-responses. So see where it says view message library. There's a place where you can actually add, maybe you have a certain response for like what I've done here. So this is a new remax.com lead message and it's automatically going to fill it in, which I didn't complete it, but just so you know, you can use the message library that way. There's so many ways to do that. But we're going to cancel this. But when you hit send, again, when they respond to you, that will show up here in their inbox, or technically your inbox for this client if they respond to you. Now you can text from the desktop. What you're going to need to do though is you have to set it up. I've already got it set up. So you may see a gray area here. In order to set up text messaging, you're going to go to settings. You're actually going to go to settings pages. You're going to go to inbox, and then you're going to go to text messaging. When you go through this process to set up text messaging, it's going to, obviously there's got to be a number that you're texting from, which is not your cell phone number, because that would mean that booj would have to literally hack into your phone to be able to send text on your behalf. So they can't do that. But they will let you choose a number that's an area number that you can be sending text messages to from there. And that's something that you can do. You can simply text straight out. Notice it says forwarding phone number is your real cell phone number, but if you want to keep it simple and you like to work on desktop and you're tired of typing on your phone, you can text your clients directly from here. Again, that's under settings, settings pages. That's under inbox, and you set up text messaging here. Okay. All right, let's go back to the contact record and let's open that one back up. Let me just type in here. This is a quick way to find that person. And we'll open that back up and see what we've got. Okay, so we talked about that. And this person, by the way, is preferred buyer's agent. So that means my affiliation with them is I have complete access and exclusivity on all their lead activity. I'm excited. Details would be, again, the phone number, the address. Here's where the important dates show up, such as property anniversary, birthday, etc. I'm going to cancel that. Custom fields, remember those custom fields we had fun with, is doing that. Status is simply, that's entirely up to you if you want to have them in pending or active or what have you. Referrals, if they were referred by someone, but take the time to really go through this contact record because there's so much really important information. If you set up a deal or a buyer list side deal and you've associated this client with that, you can see their search activity. When you are the preferred buyer's agent, you will be able to see if they favorited any properties, which in this particular lead, I did not. I just registered for an account. You'll be able to see hidden properties, search history, very important. And then if they saved any searches, you can see them here too and see what exactly it is they're looking for. The other thing is you can add notes. And then if you want to see the history, so all the account activity of anything that's ever occurred on this particular record, you can see. Notice on every screen, you always see this action button. Now I mentioned this before, you can actually transfer or share this contact record with anyone in the US through the booj system. Let's say that you are sending a client you found an agent in Florida, which by the way, the referral directory in Max Center is located right here, the Remax referrals. You can look for agents anywhere in the world on this platform. Now you can only do the booj send through the to the US, of course. There's no one outside of the US currently using the booj platform. But under contacts, so you find an agent by searching in a city. So let's say Orlando, Florida. That's what you do. Oh, I've been logged out. Probably have to log back in again. I knew it. This happens on my demo account. And you'll find if you walk away from your computer that Mac Center will time out after generally about 10 to 15 minutes, but that's for security reasons. So that's not a bad thing at all. So we're back in, we're gonna go to Orlando, Florida. None of these are alphabetical, which is really good, okay? Because then everyone has a fair chance. Every time you run this search, it's gonna be good. So here's James, and we see a little bit about him, where he's located. What you're gonna do is you're gonna hit send referral, and you're gonna walk through and fill out this form. This includes the referral agreement. This is really great because it's an agent to agent agreement. We don't get involved at RE/MAX at the region level, at the national level. You get to call up James and work out what that referral fee is. You fill it out, you're all good to go. Now what I'm gonna do though, is I need to go back into booj. So his name is James Brown, we'll remember that. Let me go back into booj. And by the way, having your profile picture on RE/MAX on Mac Center is really important, because you might miss referral business if you are just a balloon head and not having a picture there. Then no one's going to want to work with a balloon head. They want to see your smiling face. Okay, let's go to any contact. We'll just pick anybody. And what you're going to do in this case is you're going to, remember we want to send this to James. We're going to go over here where it says actions, and we're going to click send. We're going to type in James Brown. Let's see as he shows up. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to recognize it. By the way, so referral here, I'll try his last name. Okay, I just did this an hour ago. There we go, it's working. Okay, so, oh, now I got a lot of Browns to go through. Let me make sure, was he an actual agent? Either way, okay, maybe he was a manager, I didn't even notice. But as far as that goes, he should show up here. There he is. Oh, I just saw him. He disappeared. Okay, see, it works. But anyway, he's in Florida and I'm in the Midwest, so I can find any RE/MAX agent in the US. Now, when I refer this contact record to him, it's going to share it with him. He'll have it in his CRM, I'll have it in mine. They're not synced up, so if we can't see each other's notes moving forward, but the transfer means it's going to go completely out of my database and into his, I'll never see it again. If you're part of a team and you want to transfer a lead to another team member, that's a good reason to do it. Or if you're just super busy and you're getting a ton of listing leads and you want to help out an agent that's a little slower in the office and you just want to transfer it, you can do that. But just remember, if you transfer it, it's completely out of your database forever. And it tells you it can't be undone. So we're not going to do that. But that's one great thing about it. Let's talk about drip campaigns. This is so exciting. And then we're going to finish up with websites, because I know that's probably a big piece of what you've been waiting for as well. The campaigns themselves. So we're very excited to announce there's 6 brand new drip campaigns that have been loaded into your booj account. The drip campaigns themselves, there's actually 6 of them. When you open this up, you may have to go ahead and import them. Like it'll say there's 6, you need to import them. So please hit that import button and it's going to show you these 6 campaigns. Now, if you're new to real estate, the term drip campaigns has been around for a long time. It's basically the premise of a dripping faucet on a kitchen sink, or any sink for that matter, where it's turned on just slightly and you're constantly touching your database, but it's light touches, light touch points. So maybe it's just once a month, and there's delays in between and intermittent touch points. There's 6 campaigns that have been provided to you, where what these are a series of emails that are timed, pre-written, and will go out in a series to any contacts that you'd like to assign them to. These are all for particular clientele. There is a campaign that's designed for those that already own a home. There's this, maybe you're trying to get them to sell it. There's those that are renting right now. There are those that are going to be a new buyer lead or a new seller lead. And then those that are just a new homeowner, you know, they're first time buyers especially. What drip campaigns are designed for? I want to be very clear. You're not going to get 100% open rate if you send 2,200 of these at any given time. Think about all the emails that you get. However, what these are designed for are for those that you've never met, have never responded, or they have circumstances which have put them in a longer delay in taking action. So this could be financial issues, credit issues. This could be they have a 2-year lease, 1-year lease. They're much farther out and they just can't make a move right now. Or they're going through something else that's going to prevent them from acting quickly or within a relatively short period of time. So drip campaigns can come across as being somewhat impersonal, and that's why you must be very careful to not just assign your whole database a drip campaign. You want to be very careful and very selective about that, okay? So that's sort of the best way to approach drip campaigns. Anyone that you're actively working with right now should not be getting one of these, at least not until after they close. You want to make sure you keep that touch point personal with them, personable, I should say. Okay, what does a drip campaign look like? Let's just click on one of these. Okay, this one is an existing homeowner campaign. So hopefully yours imported correctly. We're going to open this up and we're going to see how many emails are part of this campaign and what do those look like. And you know, this is an overview right now, just saying, am I sending this to anyone? When I click on emails, this is going to show me the emails that come with this particular campaign. What I'm showing you right here is, and let's take a look at this. Here's one email that goes out immediately when I assign this campaign and I activate it. The subject line's already written. It's going to say it's from you. It'll have your name in the from field. The next one goes out 30 days, then 15 days, then 30 days. So basically within, you know, the first 75 days or so, they're going to get 4 emails. You might think that's too much. So you can actually go in here and you can edit this to a different time frame if you prefer. Or maybe it's too little. Maybe you want to make those more frequent. Whatever it is, these are going to be those for, you know, these could be past clients. You just want to stay in front of them. You want to remind them of tips and things to get ready for their home. And again, it's just a great tool just to keep you out there and keep you in front of them. Can they unsubscribe? Yes, they can. There's a dashboard that will show you when that happens. It shows you the unsubscribes, it shows you the open rates. You'll be able to see all of that. Notice at the very bottom. So first of all, let's take a look at the design of one of these. I'm just going to click this one. So you go edit design if you want to see what the content actually looks like. As you can see, it's already pre-written by someone on the marketing team. So spell check everything. If you want to take a look at that, you can go in and you can edit what's already there. See where it says the email banner block. When I click edit, this is going to give me an option to, I can actually change the photo. When I click on the photo, it's going to take me to the image library that's inside of the back end of the websites and all the images that go with that. I can change the headline or whatever that looks like. I'm going to go back though. The text that you see here, when I click on right here, this is actually going to take me to an editable version of all that text. I can go in here and I can add hyperlinks. I can add my own content. I can, you know, do other things. You'll notice it's all the same font, so for a nice uniform look. So you don't have to worry about trying to match up different fonts and do different things. But just to let you know, this is all editable. So maybe you have a different version of this that you'd like to go out. Or maybe there's a holiday around the time you're going to send this out or whatever it is. You can make those choices. You can also add more content blocks. Down here it says add block. This is where you can add right here. This is an email image text block. This is tied to basically an animated video piece, which you can add from your own bombbomb account. Now you need to have that account. I'm going to delete that. But as you can see, when you start adding things, it will eventually filter it in there. Let me just remove that. But some of your other, I meant to hit the trash can. Yes, I want to remove that. But you'll notice some of these other options. Please play around with those. What I highly recommend is that you put yourself in your own database. I'm just going to hit save and continue. You'll notice the signature of yourself will be on those. And when you get ready to activate a campaign, now, first of all, it's not going to send it unless you have a recipient. So let's go to recipients. You can do a couple of things. You can create lists. There's lots of videos on this on Remax University, by the way. You can create lists, and you can also start from scratch. Let's say I just want to send this to one person. I'm just going to go up here, start from scratch. And I happen to know I want to send this to Michelle Remaxer. That's me. So all it's saying is that you're just going to have that one person here. Here's what's really nice about this. The system will automatically check to see that those email addresses are actually valid. And think about that, because a lot of times you don't know that, right? It says email status is mailable. Yay, yay for us. But you'll see when you load a big list in here, it's going to show you which ones are not valid. It'll say, no, it's invalid. And that's going to help you really clean up your database too. But the system knows it's going to obviously flag those for you, which is a really good thing. Okay. Let me know what you think of the campaigns. Again, these are meant to be used for those that are further out and they're a little more impersonal. We want you to come across though, as you're very much in the know and in the process with those that you're actively working with too. Just take some time to play around with those. Now that I have one person assigned to this, I can actually go in here in the overview and I can go in and I can activate it. Let's see if I want to add, oh, by the way, if I want to add emails to this campaign, let's go to the emails themselves. Down here at the very bottom, see where it says add email. Let's say there's 6 steps here or 6 emails. Maybe I want it to go a whole year and I want to add 6 more of my own. You can continue to build and add on these programs. You can also build one completely from scratch. So when I go back to drip campaigns, right here it says add campaign. If you want to go ahead and create a drip campaign and build it yourself, and you can start building it straight from this point, and you can name it whatever you want. Maybe you have your own messaging. Maybe you want it, by the way, broker owners, you can use this for recruiting. If you want to build a recruiting campaign, you could do something along those lines. Okay. All right. Let me know if there's any questions. We're going to go right into the website. Now the websites could easily be its own 2-hour class, but the reason I save it for the end is because you're going to get some homework. You already have homework. You got to update your Max Center profile. But one of the main things I want to talk to you about with your website is, first of all, no matter what it looks like, it's most important that you're actually promoting it. Okay. If you're not putting your website URL on your Google My Business profile, your realtor.com profile, your Facebook, on your Max Center profile, go back and put your domain name in there. If you're not promoting it in all these free places and profiles, then there's the likelihood of people finding it is going to be quite low. You have to promote your own website. It is your virtual storefront, and nobody's going to do a better job than you of actually promoting it, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this. If you open this up, what I need you to do right now is I need you to hit the publish button. Mine's already published, but I want you to hit the publish button. The publish button is going to turn your website on in order for us to do the building of the homepage, and it's a good thing. Now, when you turn this on, you will see the system automatically creates this link. This is a URL that is system assigned just to you. So it's usually your remax.net username, .remax.com. That's your website domain. You can use that if you want. You can put it on business cards, on signs. I mean, you have permission to use it. But if you'd rather have a custom domain, isellhomes.com, which is probably taken, by the way, something along those lines, then what you want to do is you want to assign that. If you have a custom domain, you go to website, and by the way, we're in website and we're in dashboard, is how I got here. And then you want to hit publish. To do a custom domain, you go to website and domain manager. And this is where you can really call on the help of the product support team, either at INTEGRA or the Remax LLC support team, where they can assist you with this. But when you add a custom domain, there are some details that you have to do on the back end of your GoDaddy account if GoDaddy is where you bought your domain. This starts getting a little more advanced. If you don't know, if this looks like completely foreign to you, you've never seen this before, this is very unfamiliar, very uncomfortable, a little advanced for you, then that's okay. Reach out to support and say, you know, could you help me add my custom domain? They're most likely going to ask you for your credentials to get into your GoDaddy account, or like I said, wherever you bought it from. But there's also a video on Remax University on how to do this. So keep that in mind. All right. And you can add the domain there. Let's go website and dashboard. And thanks for hanging with me. We're on the home stretch, everyone. We are going to wrap up here in about 15 minutes or so. Okay, so let's talk about these websites. Now, what do I have going on here? To change your home page, meaning the layout, you're going to click right here where it says change home page. What does the page actually look like? This is not the content itself. It's merely the layout or the wireframe, if you would, of what the home page is. Now, by the way, there's out-of-the-box content that's created on these websites. As soon as you hit publish, you have a website. So if you're looking at this going, I don't have time for this, I don't want to develop websites, I'm not a website, I'm not a computer programmer, I don't know how to do these things. The best part is there's already content there. All we're doing is choosing how it looks, okay? Some of you are going to get really into this, want to get into design and all kinds of things. And I can show you some examples of some really nice agent websites. All right, in this section, I've done a lot with my training account here, so ignore all those extra features. But I have chosen what's called the agent social layout. The agent social layout features a really nice bright image at the top and then a search bar. In fact, let me go ahead, let me close out it. If you want to stay right there. When I click on your website right here to see what it actually looks like right out of the gate. Again, out of the box content. You may have a different layout than I do, but you can see that this is a live site that's got content, and it's pretty simple, and I'm going to help you keep it simple. In this menu, there's actually already content set up here, and I've done some things from a training perspective and customized it a little bit, but you should see already content there. There's buyer's information, seller information, there's a property valuation form, and different features like that that's ready to go. And you could start sharing that link today. Once you're published, you have to be published. When you publish, then anyone, providing your MLS is active, can search for any property in your MLS on your website. This is now your very own. But I've got an image here. Now I can change this image, which I'll show you how. As a consumer visiting my site, it's easy to see what's going on. Now here's 4 basic components, and you should write this down, that I recommend you have on your website. I recommend that you have on your homepage 4 basic things: search, about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. Okay, search, about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. How to get in touch with you includes social media. You'll see I have that here, but then also this contact form. I don't have featured listings here because I have a demo account, but I'll show you some examples of what that looks like. Okay, let's look at this now. So once you decide, let's go to change homepage. If you like the way my site looks and you want to use the agent social layout, by all means, leave that checked off. Then, or if you want to try a different one, you can do that as well. Go down to the bottom and make sure you hit the save button. Now I have a little tip for you. If you start working on your website and then you decide to go in here and change the layout again, it's going to make you start over again with content because you're switching the layout. And especially if you've done a lot of work, just be mindful of that, as well as the fact that now if you do go back to the layout or the homepage layout that you originally chose, when you pull that up again, it is going to bring back all your content. So I just want to give you that tip. Something else too, when you're updating your website, it generally takes about 30 minutes for it to show up in the live environment. Sometimes it's instant, it depends on what the feature is or what the ad is, but a lot of times it takes about 30 minutes, okay? Which means by the time we're done here, you may start seeing some of your changes. Click on where it says edit. Again, let me get out of here for a second. We're gonna go edit the content of what's actually on the homepage and get you to a good place where you can have those the 4 basic things that I recommend. So again, we're going to go to website and dashboard, edit agent social layout. So what that means is I'm now editing the content. You're going to absolutely love this builder here because on the right hand side is a preview of what you're actually doing and what it's going to look like. over on the left side are the actual content blocks of what you're adding to the website. Now this header image, as you can see here, maybe I want to change that out. Maybe I don't want it to be a kitchen. So I've actually clicked on it. Now I'm going to click edit, and then it's going to take me, I click on the image itself, and now I can start looking for another image. I'm actually going to type in lake. Maybe I want a picture of a lake out there. And let's see. Lake, search. Hey, this isn't working. Here, I'll do this. I'll do the Remax balloon. I might have better luck this way. Let's see. 433 results. I should be able to, oh, here we go. I'm going to make this easier on myself. Change this to 50 results per page. That search filter is supposed to work, but apparently it's not. All right, let me just choose this one here, the balloon. And I'm going to click on an image, and then you can insert it. Now you may have noticed you can add your own custom images. I would say just stick with some of these built-in ones for now. So I just changed my image. Now see this block right here. So I remember we talked about search and then about you. Your agent bio block should be next to be added. I'm going to go back. And now I'm going to click right here. So first of all, what you do is you click on add block. Let me just get rid of all this and I'll show you how we do this. Anything you've already got there, I would recommend just clear that out. Just go in and delete it all. It'll certainly make more sense as we finish this home page. We're going to click on add block. We're going to now add the bio block. This is the bio block right here. Okay. And now notice it says it can be edited in Max Center. This is tied to your profile in Max Center. So if you don't see a picture here, you need to get your picture into the Max Center profile. Remember, we looked at that a little while ago. But let's go ahead and hit save. Anything you've written here, it'll have your office information, your picture, your bio. Hopefully you wrote a nice little bio about yourself. It's all there. Search about you. Next is featured listings. Featured listings are going to show your 6 most recent listings. Now, you may not have 6 listings. You may not have any listings. That's actually pretty common right now with the way the markets are so fast moving. There's a setting inside, we're going to look at in just a second, that you can actually have by default, have the 6 most recent in your office appear here. So they're going to be other Remax agents listings, but it's still nice to have that filled in. Now, I'm not going to have a feature listings block because, again, it's a demo account. And I don't have that feed like you do. So you should see something there. The next thing is, let's add social media. Search about you, featured listings, and how to get in touch with you. Social media is a big part of that. Now, when you add the social media blocks, I've already got this tied to the Remax INTEGRA US page. Some of you might see this though. You might see when you first do this, it's going to be Remax content. When you turn on the Facebook and Twitter feeds, these other social profiles you can actually turn on, and you'll notice what they do is they populate up here as icons. When I turn on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, these are all linked directly to the Remax brand and those social channels, and they're constantly posting content on there. So it's not like you have to worry about posting things there. If you're not a big user of Pinterest, Instagram, or Twitter, but more Facebook, then you're fine. So with Twitter, you can just use the Remax feed. And it's nice because, like I said, it's constantly fed with content. If you want to do your own Facebook business page, which I highly recommend from a personal touch, instead of using Remaxes, what you do is you uncheck use Remax profile. Then what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste your own business page. So go open up Facebook, copy your link of your business page. You got to open it up, paste it in here like I've done, and then hit the blue arrow and watch how the content updates. There's us right now. We're on a live stream. Okay. Then the rest, like I said, you can just have turned on and those icons will appear there. And that's pretty much it on the social media. So we're going to go back. Now that's all set up. Wait, hold on a second. Should be live. Forgot to hit save, see? Okay, now we're good. So that's active. Finally, how to get in touch with you is also part of social media, is the contact form. Right down here, if you scroll down, is the contact form. The contact form, you can type whatever you want at the top. I'd love to connect with you, or contact me today, or questions. You know, maybe you do something like this. I can help. Or contact me today. We can just do it like that. Contact me today. And then you're good to go. You hit save. Most people think about it when you're on a website, we're kind of all trained to go to the bottom to, okay, who is this company? How can I reach them? How can I reach their support? This is going to be a natural behavior for visitors to your website to go here. They can also reach you up here at the top. And let me go back here. So up here at the top, they can actually click where it says contact me, and they can contact you directly there too. But it's nice to have that extra little section for them to reach out to you. Okay. All right. I want to keep the website session pretty simple for you because I'm sure by now you're completely overwhelmed, or hopefully not too badly. And I want you to watch this recording back, and I want you to rewind, and I want you to be sure to go back and have those reference points on what to do with booj and getting started with that. Like I said, don't forget about your Mac Center profile. Hopefully you got the mobile piece of it to work. Let me know if there's any last minute comments or questions, and then if not, we'll wrap up. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with me today, and very best of luck with booj. Welcome to Remax if you're brand new to us. And either way, if not, then my goal is for you to have some takeaways from this session. I'll send this to you later on. Take care. Thanks, everyone.